a plethora of options of not only watching all the Kiwanis Connect shows and all the great stuff that we bring to you, but all the great shows here on the network. And of course, you know what? I think it's just going to be Doc Val and I today. So call us. We want you to join us and be part of the show. Ask us your question. If you're here on the East Coast, I got all my new friends out here in the Capital District, and I just found out Capital District covers only 5 states. So I'm going to be meeting a lot of people over the next 24 hours. Check in. Call us 702-992. What is our number? 992-3207. There you have it. All right. How are you, my friend?
Aloha. I think that no matter what we do each week, we're always going to get something that is not going to go right. And so I'm looking around my room and going, welcome to my guest room at this point in time. I can't hide it.
Well, here, I'll tell you what, you know what? You want to feel good about things. Hold on one second. I'll do this just for you, my friend. Here. So here's my background without my background screen. I got my closet. I got wrestling belts. So I get it. It's like, so I'm with you. I'm with you. So, and then John.
And there's John with the brick wall.
He's just another brick in the wall. That's all he is.
Another brick in the wall.
So.
A lot of us and he's got his green screen.
That tells me he's not even in the studio this morning. The Huckleberry's at home working this morning.
I'm going to actually, I think at some point, set up a studio in the garage and maybe paint a wall green or something. Who knows?
You don't even have to paint anything. Go on. What I did before moving out here, first of all, John was kind enough to give me material that matches the green, but go on to Facebook Marketplace because they have the retractable banners like you would that are green screen. I have one of those. So, and I got it for cheap, like $40. So before you paint anything, check that stuff out first because it saved my marriage. She didn't want me painting green here in the new house. So, anyway.
It's like I always share with you, this is one of my favorite times of the week. No matter how bad the week is gone or how much drama has been in the week, seeing your face and John's, it's like, and yeah, and I was really hoping that we'd get to see Doug Frost today, but he's a little under the weather. And so we're going to talk about him and make him feel happy. And
feel loved. We'll talk about him behind his back, in front of him. That's the way I look at
it. Exactly.
By the way, I have to retract my request for phone calls because noting that John showed his green screen, he is actually doing this remote as well. So he is actually at his home studio running stuff for us. So therefore, don't call because he ain't in the studio to take our phone calls, but chat with us. The chat rooms are open both on Facebook and of course on YouTube. So, we were monitoring those. I got Facebook right here, but don't call because you'll get very disappointed when you hear an operator say operators are standing by. Anyway, so I just want to make sure I clarify that. So, so we're now what, a week removed from the Cal Neva convention, right? And now memory serves, we are at August 23rd, which means the current slate of 23-24 officers are down to their final 6 weeks-ish, give or take, right?
Mm-hmm. So, they are actually down to their last 38 days. 38. And I know how that feels. Last year, we did a countdown from 90. And every day we put in something to talk about how we can make sure we end strong and prepare for the new year and getting people all excited about the transitions. And so that's one of the things that, our decons, our district conventions signify. It's the ending and transition into the new beginnings. And so this weekend is full of decons. Aren't you going to one right after the show?
As soon as we get done, my car is revved up and ready. I'm going to Capital District, which is over here in Portsmouth, which actually is kind of nice because it's only like about 10 miles from where I live. And our Division 14, which I am part of, is actually the home division for the event. So I'm going to have an opportunity in Capital District. For those who don't know, and I literally just did the homework on this before we went on the air. The Capital District is comprised of clubs in Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and District of Columbia. This district was founded August 29th, 1918. So we're a week away from another anniversary for the Capital District. Started out with only 2 clubs way back in the day. Now it has 7 regions, 20 divisions, and over 170 clubs. Hey, Bob Larson, how are you? So I get to rub elbows now. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to continue spreading the word about, some little show you and I do called Kiwanis Connects. I don't know. It's
It's a
catching
little
on.
show.
Catching on. I was at the Town Center Kiwanis Club on Wednesday. I went there to speak about Kiwanis Connects and show people how to find us. I'm going there today. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm going to wear my Kiwanis Connect shirt. I've already spoken to the incoming governor, the governor-elect, and he has heard of, and you and him, by the way, I saw this morning, are connected as friends. Jason Hiscock, I guess is how it's pronounced, or whatever. So you guys are already connected. He and I are. He wants to talk to me about trying to make Kiwanis Connects more valuable within Division 14, and he was talking about something about like a district position, and I know Eileen's going to fight on that regarding Kiwanis. But be that as it may, so I'm making inroads here. So I've got price sheets. I'm ready to rock and roll because 170 clubs times, let's just take the average price of our 3 commercials at $300. Number one, that's a lot of money for the Rose Float Kiwanis Club at $50 a commercial, right? And then, of course, that'll keep this show sustained on the air for quite some time. So listen, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm excited. My wife is going with me. She just joined, by the way, the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club herself, and I have joined Chesapeake and the Virginia Beach Club. So I'm trying to foster interclub relationships with both of these clubs because I think it's kind of lacking out here a little bit. But man, I'll tell you what, because of you, Governor Val, I'm hitting the ground running out here with all that I'm doing with Kiwanis. And, I've got 2 or 3 foursomes together for a golf outing. I'm pitching a 9/11 event that the Chesapeake Club is involved with. Heck, when I was even in New York last week, I did a little promo video from the World Trade Center Ground Zero, recording a little promo for the Chesapeake Bay 9/11 ceremony at 8:38. So I'm all over the place here. So
you are just cooking with gas. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Hey, Susan Wells, how are you? So thank you for the intro to Doreen and Steve. We did dinner with them a couple of weeks ago. Love those folks. And can't wait for you and Andy to come out, and then the 6 of us can get together and have some fun as well. So anyway, you know me. When I get rolling with passion and love for something, I can't stop. So I'm going to shut up now so you can talk.
You don't ever have to stop. That's one of the reasons why we do this. It is to make those connections where people will truly understand we're not just in this little bitty part of the world that we call our backyard, but we are all over the place. And, I just wanted to say hi to Angie, who's flying out to the Philippines. And it's like, I know you can't watch the show today, so you're going to watch it in recording. And I just want to say, aloha, because I don't know how to say hello in Tagalog. I'll learn. And I wanted to say that not only do you have your decon that you're rolling to, my friend Daryl, after he finished reading his stories to kiddos today, is being a part of the Georgia decon. And I'm very excited about the Georgia decon because they're actually going to show our Rose Float commercial, and they're handing out a couple things for us. So I'm very excited that even though I don't get to be in Georgia today, that I know that we're very well represented.
I was going to say, they're in spirit.
Yes, absolutely. They're in spirit, and maybe even a couple commercials come out of that. You never know.
Oh, there you go. So I took the liberty. Philippines, you ready for this? According to Google, I Googled how to say hello in Philippine language, and it says hello po, P-O. So that's like hello, sir or madam. So it doesn't really seem to be, or kumasta ka is how are you? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Otherwise, I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. So I'm not sure.
Either that or kids are not going to be allowed to listen because it's one of those 7 words. Yeah, never know.
Where's George Carlin? Where is that guy when you need them? You know what I'm saying? But no, listen, you know what's, we've been doing this now. This is a second season for you and I. Of course, Kiwanis Connects year 1 was based on with Christina von Lundenberg in the Las Vegas area show. So the last 2 years, when we look at what we've done, good morning, Dave Schmidt. We've really, I wish there's a way that we can go back and count the number of people that we've touched. Just in like Susan Wells, for instance. I mean, when she started watching us over a year ago, she was new to Kiwanis. And I would get messages from her all the time about how much she's learned just by watching us. And not just about Calneva, but really get a better understanding of just the wide scope of how big Kiwanis is around the globe. And, we get clubs from the Philippines checking in, Grace out in South Africa. We're getting people and reaching people from all over. And when the incoming governor of Capital and I were emailing, and he says, I've heard of Kiwanis Connects in the email that he and I were going through. I'm like, aha.
Mhm.
So we're getting out there now. We can just get KI to pick us up on a long term. Then we'll really be smoking.
It would be fabulous. But you know what? Until they do, we're going to keep doing the show. And
Absolutely.
Even my grandmother, she said, when were you going to tell me that you're on TV? And I'm like, I've been telling you I'm on TV. And she says, but you didn't tell me.
Oh.
And so she's sending out all these links to people that are related to me back east and saying, look at my granddaughter. She's on TV. And I'm saying, but remember, you need to tell them that it's all about service and community service and Kiwanis. And so hopefully, more of my relatives will join. They'll get to see me more often on Fridays.
There you go. At least there's that.
Absolutely. And we were talking about other decons. There is also one going on in Michigan. Okay. And so they just posted about their registration and all that kind of fun stuff. And so for those people who have never been to a convention, a great way to start is to go to a district convention, because you meet a lot of people in a way that you don't feel like you're alone, and you don't feel like you're intruding on someone else's space and schedule. And it's very different from going to an interclub, because when you go to an interclub or you're visiting another person's club while you're traveling, all of a sudden you become the special guest and you see people at their best. But when you get to go to a district convention, there are so many people that say hello to you. There are people that will take you under their wing. They'll introduce you to a bunch of folks. And all of a sudden you realize, wow, Kiwanis is a big deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And along those lines, now look, for those who know my story, I've been in the K family since 1980 as a key clubber, but moving from Vegas to here, one of the first things I asked, and of course, this is where Gary Graham, and hello, Gary and Jamie out there, if you're watching, which you usually are, Gary was very instrumental, because the first thing I sought out that I knew was going to help with my transition of moving here, just feeling comfortable in the community and getting to meet people, because I'm starting from scratch out here, in terms of my network. The first thing I looked up and asked about, Val, you were there, was tell me about the Kiwanis clubs, because I may not know anybody in the clubs, and this was before you connected me with Doreen and Steve, but Kiwanis breeds that level of familiarity. So no matter where you go, and I talked about this exactly at this meeting on Wednesday, that people come to visit Virginia Beach, they come to vacation to go sit in the sand and the surf and everything, but chances are there may be a few Kiwanians sprinkled in there that may still want to hit a Kiwanis meeting when they come visit Virginia Beach. For me, it was that level of common ground that I knew I at least had something, and I wasn't totally in the dark of the area. So Kiwanis, I'll always refer Kiwanians first in my business life, my personal, hey, you need this, I need this, hey, I know somebody, Kiwanian. It is just such a beautiful relationship of people that support each other, not just the community, which of course is the key thing, but we support each other, whether it's physical, emotional, a hello, piece of information, whatever it is. KI is a lot more than just what they see with you and I in these boxes.
And one of the things that I love about the traveling around is on the international level, when you wear your K and you're traveling, so you're traveling in Taiwan or you're traveling in the Philippines or Malaysia, Kiwanians embrace you. And they want you to come be a part of what's going on. When we were traveling around in Australia and in New Zealand, I actually saw in the newspaper that they were having their Christmas fair. And so I was able to actually go and walk around in this basically gigantic Christmas farmers market, where people are wearing flip-flops because it's hot, not no sun,
Mhm.
and or no snow,
Right.
and actually talk with Kiwanians and be able to go back to my hotel and recruit 5 people because I was able to talk about how amazing these people are in their community. Because sometimes we get blinders on,
Yep. For sure.
and when a new person comes in, they go, "Wow, I need to
It,
tell you about this cool thing that I learned about your community while visiting you."
Yeah,
So,
oh, absolutely. It's like when we do these shows and I do my other shows, you just never know what's going to connect with people. And that's why when people look at view numbers for shows, you can have a show that gets you 1 million views, and then the next week you did nothing different, and all of a sudden you only have 10,000 because you
mhm,
just don't know what's going to hit someone in the soul for that week or that topic and that excitement. But once you make that connection, regardless of what it is, that emotional connection is very strong, and they will testify to others about how great something is, a person, an experience, or what they learned. It's just crazy. With that, we are going to step aside for a quick break. We do have some bills that we have to pay, but first, real quickly, since we're talking about commercials and stuff, the Kiwanis customized commercial is designed to help brand your club, your event, or more, just as important, if you're a business owner, which many of you are here within Kiwanis, and would like a
mhm.
commercial for your business, you're going to get the same rates. $50 off the top of the proceeds goes to the Rose Flow Kiwanis Club, which represents us all, so we can keep those flowers going. You wanted 30-second commercial, $250. That's it. 60 seconds is only 390 seconds, $350. Email me, kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. I'll go over all the details in getting it done. Lastly, before we go to the official commercials, if you are within the sound of my voice here, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Suffolk, Portsmouth, wherever you are, September 11th, 8:30 a.m., Chesapeake Kiwanis Club will be part of the Chesapeake City Park remembrance service for 9/11, 8:30 a.m. Come on down and support us. With that, Kiwanis Connects, Doc Val and I, we'll be right back.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms, because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Thanks to the efforts of the Cal Neva District of Kiwanis, there's been a Kiwanis presence in the Rose Bowl Parade for more than half of the New Year's Day Parade since 1921. In the past, our efforts were funded through club sponsorships, outside sponsorships, by the generous donations from Kiwanis members or club foundations sponsoring riders on the Kiwanis float itself. The District Rose Float Committee handles fundraising, and the Kiwanis Rose Float Club secures and organizes the volunteers. When Kiwanis International wanted to sponsor a large portion of our float, momentum from our clubs was lost due to any fundraising. The time has come to have our clubs increase their involvement in the fundraising efforts. But the Rose Float Kiwanis Club needs the help from all Kiwanis clubs, its members, and businesses to answer the call for support. Visit our Kiwanis Rose Float page on Facebook. Help make sure that Kiwanis International will let the world continue to smell the roses for a long time. All right, welcome back. Appreciate it. By the way, Kiwanis, last week, Val, was the Rose Float was a meeting. I actually logged into it last week thinking it was a meeting but it was a board meeting, but I'm on the list of all of that stuff. And so I had an opportunity to talk with the individuals that were on that call. And I think you may have seen the minutes come through. And actually I had an opportunity to remind them about Kiwanis Connects and the customized commercial to help the Rose Float. So that was a nice opportunity because I did not do a show live. I was still recovering from 5 days in New York City. So I had an opportunity to jump on and join that. Anyway, welcome back. Today it's just Val and I, and hopefully you guys, please put your comments in the chat room on YouTube or Facebook. We'd love to have your questions, your thoughts, your comments, anything coming up. So let's talk
I wanted
about.
to do it. Actually, I want to do a shout out though, because that really ties well into where I'm headed tomorrow.
All right.
And so this isn't an on the road part, but it is the Rose Float's doing their first major fundraiser of the year, which is our BBQ Barbecue. And it's in Pasadena. So if you're within the 30-mile radius of the Pasadena Salvation Army, come on over. It's a $50 opportunity to help support the Rose Float. One of our members has kindly donated all of the barbecue and the food and everything. And then one of our biggest fans has provided the entertainment. So we have this amazing group. It's called Acapella, and it is a group of young ladies that have backed up Chuck Mangione and a couple of other major stars.
Wow.
Because they're from the School for the Blind. And they are phenomenal. It gives me chills every time I've seen their trailer commercials that they're doing. And we have a couple of other entertainers that are going to show up, but because of all the, the SAG rules and all that kind of stuff, we can't advertise them because they're doing it for free. And so you never know who will show up.
God forbid we should let the world know that these people are doing something nice gratis-wise. God forbid.
I know.
Good news. Good morning, Andy. Hope you're feeling well, my friend. I'm intrigued by those the Acapella, and I'm glad you clarified that because I thought I heard the B in there, and of course Bella. But you mentioned Chuck Mangione. I loved his song "Feel So Good." That trumpet thing. We ought to try to get those ladies on the show maybe at one point and talk about their career and what they're doing and why they're getting involved in supporting the barbecue and all that stuff.
Absolutely. I know that they would be happy to. So I'll get us all hooked up tomorrow.
Cool. All right. So with, what did you say? 38 days is what's left in this term, right?
Yes.
So,
I think it's 38. I may be wrong, but Carol, if you're out there, I know that you know exactly how many days are left. And perhaps before the year is actually out, the administrative year, maybe at the end of the month or at the beginning of October, we should bring Carol on to talk about the year and the growths and the numbers and the results of the year. But let's talk about what's moving forward for the next 38 days. I mean, as the immediate past governor, I know you're obviously, Susan is asking, is there a flyer for the Rose Float event tomorrow? Yes, there is. And so if you want to go to the Kiwanis Connects after the show, I'll make sure it's reposted. And we've been sending it out far and wide, and it is all about the theme of BBQ because we have multiple bees on the float, and bees are the mascots for our key clubbers. So it all fits really well together.
Hey,
so, and the event starts at 4:00. But if you pop in later, we'll still be serving until about 7. So, and if you only wanted to buy a dinner and get it picked up, we have takeaway boxes and we'll load them up with lots of amazing barbecue. And so shout out to Louie. Thank you, Louie, for having your organization support us. So,
can you do Grubhub to Virginia Beach?
Oh, I wish, but I can freeze it and I can overnight it.
All right. Hey, I won't argue if a box shows up full of ribs. That's for sure.
All right now.
By the way, Susan, I hope you're feeling better. We haven't talked in a while, so I hope you're doing good too. So let's talk about, this is great. So this is the season. I'm glad we're talking about this. I know John ran the commercial for the Rose Float Club, but folks, you're going to hear more and more about the Rose Float Club because we're now entering that time of year where the focus is going to really start getting heavy. Therefore, I'm going to come back around to the commercial. Get a customized commercial because it's an easy donation back to them. All right. So let's talk about the 38 days that are left. As the immediate past governor, you're still involved sort of on the backside as an advisor to Carol and kind of seeing what's going on. So you probably have insight as to what some of the plans and targets still might be for the next 30 some odd days, 38 days, whatever it is. Talk about what some of the things that we should be looking forward to finish out this year strong.
There's 3 major things. And the first one is membership. It could be membership. It's making sure that we are touching base with our members to ensure that we don't lose more clubs and more members over the next 38 days. That's really key because this is the time when clubs traditionally have gone out and said, do you still want to be a Kiwanian? That's not the question that we should be, and I know Carol's team hasn't been asking, it is just letting them know that there is a dues increase. That dues increase goes into effect on October 1. And so we need to make sure that folks are aware of that and come up with ways to make sure that their dues increase doesn't impact their members in a negative way. And also, it's a great time to bring in brand new members because it's only $6 to add someone for the international part of it in September. And then for like Calneva, it's another $6. And so what a great way to get them on your rolls, get them started so that you can do the next thing, which is celebrating and installing all our new members, our new members, our new officers, and all of that. And I know that there's a lot of focus right now on installation parties and governors getting their last visits in that haven't gotten them in. And for districts like yours in the Capital District, districts like Calneva, each governor does about 20 to 30 visits in a year. That's a lot of travel. And so they're still traveling at the end of the year.
Yeah.
There are some districts, that only have 7 divisions.
Mm-hmm.
They can get that done in October, November.
Sure.
But for a number of the districts around the world, they're still traveling. There's still things that they need to do. And for me, because, I'm also part of the Calneva Children's Fund,
yep.
We put a very lofty goal out there. And that goal was to raise $1 million over the year. Mm-hmm. And we're so close to being able to do that. And so you'll see a number of posts and requests that if you just give $5, that will get us to the goal. And it's not just so that we have a big poster that says, hey, we raised $1 million. It is because we have children's hospitals that need us. We have not been able to give as much as we need to give to make that happen. And we have scholarships that we're fulfilling that are so important to us because our student leaders out there need us as we write those checks for them to start in their fall semester. And so that part of it's a really big deal. And I want to say congratulations to Bob Larson. Bob Larson is our incoming president for the CNH Children's Fund. And Dave Schmidt, who I know is out there, congratulations. Dave is going to step into the role of vice president. And I want to also do a thank you to Gary Dander for all of his support and motivation for us over the last 2 years. And so with that, our governor has an active role in the Children's Fund during their year. And you know me, I way overcommitted. And so I made sure that from the governor-elect year all the way through, that I would continue to sit on that board because that's the support end. Because when we donate to the Children's Fund, it's not tied to dues. There's no dues money going into these scholarships. And almost every one of our districts has a robust children's fund or a foundation because that's the 501c3 part of our organization. So I'm babbling at you, aren't I?
No. I'm getting educated because, obviously I know about the fund and the importance of what it does, but I don't think viewers out there realize. And I'm glad you separated it from the dues. I'm glad you made that statement because we automatically think, well, some people probably think that we pay our dues and it goes to everything we need to do. No, it's not the case. That's why clubs have fundraisers. The foundation level is no different than my Virginia Beach Kiwanis Club. We're doing a golf outing on September 6th. It's got to fuel their funding to give away scholarships and everything else that we do. So the foundation for each district is no different to do the things that need to be done. So you say it was so close. Do you want to ballpark how close to give everybody an idea, or?
I don't know the new numbers, so if Bob could type it in. When we were at our district convention, one of the announcements was that we started off on Friday, or Thursday at $87,000, and the window closed, I think, to just a little over 80,000 when we left district convention. A number of us have been reaching out. We shared Callie May's story. Callie May was born. She was 11 and a little over 11 inches long, weighed less than 2 pounds. That was 5 years ago, and she stole our hearts. And she's a part of a program that we call our partner hospitals. We partner with, I keep wanting to say 5 children's hospitals in the California, Nevada, Hawaii district, and we support them in a number of ways, but things that are focused in on pediatric care. And we have in the past educated doctors to be able to get them into pediatrics, because it's really challenging emotionally for someone to take on that extra care. Sure. And we've also done 3D print, provided money so they can do 3D printing for things that fit a pediatric patient over an adult. Because if you think about what even a blood pressure monitor and a pulse ox that goes over your finger,
right?
If you put an adult size one, that can go over the whole hand of a preemie.
Yes.
But if you can buy the itty bitty little thing, you can save a child's life because you get ready-made information. So our children's fund has saved thousands and thousands of lives because of the support and donations that our Kiwanians give.
Right.
And one of the things that I want to share across the board is, if you are working in an organization that matches your donations, please, please, please consider before December that you do your donation to either the California, Nevada Children's Fund or your club's 501c3 or Kiwanis International's Children's Fund, because that money can be doubled by your employers just by you filling out a form. And I do a shout out to Kathy Tran, because she's the one that taught me about this a long time ago, because she works with State Farm, and State Farm matches their employees' charitable giving.
That's good. That's how Jake stays employed out there in State Farm.
That's how Jake stays employed.
Bob Larson says 6 hospitals. He put that in the chat there. But Bob, if you can just kind of give us a ballpark as to just how close you are to the goal of $1 million, I'd like to have that information so we can share that with everybody around the world watching as well. Whether you're part of CalNEVA or not, folks, it doesn't matter, because we are all Kiwanians. And if you feel that you want to help support the CalNEVA Foundation, do it. Do it now.
Do it.
They're standing by. I always wanted to say that. It means nothing, but I've always wanted to say that. All right, so it is, it's just crazy. And the young lady that you mentioned, Callie May, I want to remind everybody, and I'm glad you brought that up, please use the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page for stories. Post pictures of what your clubs are doing. You have a speaker, take a picture, put it up there. You're at an event, post some pictures. And because 3 days ago, Val was kind enough to actually post the story from YouTube about Callie. So go check it out on the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page, and you'll see and get more detail exactly what Val was just referring to with that young lady. Listen, there's so many good stories that are out there. And I know I don't want to take away any steam from your wow moment for clubs, and I'm sure you have something lined up. But every club has a wow moment. It's just they have to realize they need to take advantage and let others know about what's happening. Whether it's on Kiwanis Connects or just in your local community, there are newspapers, there are little foldable magazines in every community that they're starving for stories and information. Just take a few minutes, send them a little blurb. Hey, we're doing this, we've done this, my club has done this, or better yet, invite them to come out to cover the event. Guess what? Now you got potential of new members too, even in the reporter or whoever's going to come out to cover it. Just do it, because we can use all the plus. The more members we get, those dues increases down the line may be spaced out a little more than than we've been talking about, right?
Absolutely. And I would love to be able to put a commercial together that has those wow moments. I think that that would be so much fun. And I think that people seeing themselves and seeing their clubs just brings that little bit of extra pride
Yep.
when they're out there. And so that's the other piece. I said that there's three parts to what we're doing as the governor and the different Kiwanis clubs out there. And the last part is about budgets. And at this point in time, all the clubs are expected to be looking at their budgets, looking at their balance sheets. And if your club has a service account that has $1 million or more, I want to put a challenge out to you and let you know that something's not right.
That's
and and the reason I put it out there is our service accounts are not rainy day funds. And so many of the more traditional Kiwanis clubs have said that they want to make sure that they have a 501c3 that's their rainy day account for their clubs and their organizations. And the reality is it's raining. It is raining. You need to be spending that money on your communities. You need to be sharing that money with communities that are really struggling to get back on their feet, because there's been a number of changes in the fundraising rules and the designations for 501c4s and 501c3s. And I know that's one of the topics that's been covered at a lot of the different Kiwanis district conventions that's been covered is how your money is used and how it's reported. And so that's one of the things that I put that challenge out to you. For those clubs, you're sitting on $3 and $4 million in your foundations. Figure out a plan. Make sure that the money is actually going to help your communities.
And if worst case scenario, a show by the name of Kiwanis Connects will be more than happy to take that money and help you diversify it. Hey, you know what, Val? Let's step aside for our last break a few minutes early because we still have a lot to do to talk about. We have Val on the road. We have Kiwanis Wow. And of course, Andy's favorite subject of the day, bad dad jokes. And I've got them lined up ready to rock and roll. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. John, take us to break. We'll be right back.
The Granville Allied Gardens Kiwanis Club was founded in 1960. We provide service to Allied Gardens, Granville, San Carlos, Del Cerro, and surrounding communities of San Diego. Our support extends to the youth of our community by sponsoring programs at Hearst Elementary School K-Kids, Lewis Middle School's Builders Club, Patrick Henry High School's Key Club, and San Diego State University Circle K. Some of our favorite events and charities we support include the First Friday Concerts in the Park, patriotic holiday flags on Waring Road, Meals on Wheels, Cub Scouts, and the Allied Gardens Little League. Join our club. We are looking for people who care about making a difference for our children, for our community, and for our world. For more information about our Kiwanis Club and becoming a member, please visit www.alliedgardenskiwanis.org. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right, welcome back. Kiwanis Connects. Val, can you believe we're down to the last segment already?
No! Let's say it isn't so.
Like saddened to an hourglass. Those are the days of Kiwanis Connects.
Yes.
Val and I were just sitting here kind of getting caught up looking at the three goals for the remainder of the 30 some odd days left of the 23-24 administrative year already. Talked about membership. We talked about the children's funds. We talked about everything we can do for the last 38 days. And of course, you know, everything seems to come back to membership. It always does every year. Every governor, every lieutenant governor's goal is membership. I heard a unique thing. The incoming lieutenant governor for Division 14, where I am right now, Kimberly Temple, we chatted, and you know, the incoming governor actually has a unique twist on things. You know, his thing on membership. Yeah, we all want growth. Don't get me wrong, but he's actually putting an emphasis on retention, which I think, and you touched on it. I mean, there are so many Kiwanians out there that have moved. They've lost touch with Kiwanis. We don't think about following up. There are the K family. There's so many avenues of membership through the sponsored leadership programs, parents, and everything else. I just wish that we can get to a point where membership is almost turnkey and we can start focusing on other things because membership is just happening. Is that a possibility for Kiwanis at some point?
I believe it is. And that's part of where we're headed. And they're talking, the whole emphasis is on recruit, retain, and nurture. Mm-hmm. And so that's the 25 through 24 through 28, whatever strategic plan. And it's organizations like we're going to be talking with next week, which is Grouper, which are coming up with ways that it's not about dues. It's about being actively involved in your community. Mm-hmm. And so I think when we partner with Medicare, we partner with and I get to put her name out there, and it's not political. It is Kamala Harris's project on community service, where she is putting $25 million of her funding out to make sure that community service projects are being supported, win, lose, or draw. Mm-hmm. Those are the kind of things that will make Kiwanis more relevant than we are today. Because, as Hope Marks put out there, our future international president, right, had put out there a while back, it's about the value. And people need, when you understand what you value, and that value is Kiwanis in serving our communities, you can't help but grow and keep members for 50, 60 years because it's just a part of who you are.
Exactly.
And so, I know that people value their sports teams. Mm-hmm. Because I was watching the news and looking at my ESPN because every time I hear that song, dun, 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 on my cell phone, I'm plugged in. But do you realize how many people are going to the first college football game in Ireland?
No, I did not see that.
They had a chartered plane of extra people that are going to support a football game in Ireland between, I think it's Florida and Mexico. I don't know the teams that are playing. Wow. I looked at the number of people that are flying to Ireland to watch a college football game.
Well, you know what? It's people forget the word that if you're a fan, it's short for fanatic. And so when you are a fan of a sports team, you're going to do what you can to support the team. So we need to become fans of Kiwanis and become fanatical about Kiwanis. There is a sports company called Fanatics. That's the company that you can buy sports gear for all your teams and interests. So to have a plane go out to Ireland to support, the boosters, and I'm sure that kind of digressing here. I wonder how many common folk are on that plane versus corporate sponsors and boosters that are going to support those teams. But that's another topic for another day. But
absolutely,
you're absolutely right. I mean, people will pay what they feel the value is for and what they're getting for. Here, they're going to follow their team. They're paying money and they're paying the value for the experience of doing that in another country.
Mm-hmm. And people have no shame in being able to ask the big bucks for things that they believe people value. Mm-hmm. I went to a car show this past Saturday. And congratulations, Tanya. You're the first female owner of a car show on the Monterey Peninsula in 39 years. I love you. Congratulations.
Nice.
But it was the Concorso Italiano. And do you know the face value of the baseline ticket that didn't include food? $300. One ticket, walking around staring at cars. If you wanted alcohol, you had to pay for it. You wanted lunch, you had to pay for it.
Wow. See, now if Adam West's Batmobile were there, I would have paid it.
There were cars that looked better than the Batmobile. You would have been amazed.
No, I need that Adam West Batmobile. No, but you're right. I mean, look, you've got Same thing. We can come across with millions of examples of overpriced things that you and I and probably a ton of other people would look at and say, I'm never going to pay for that. Look what people were charging for the Formula One races in Vegas last year. Thousands and thousands of dollars for tickets and hotels and everything else. And now they're at it again. Super Bowl, these companies are paying $7 million for a 30-second commercial, hoping a handful of people will remember to buy their product. Okay. Why are people not seeing the value in a $350 commercial to promote their business and brand here through Kiwanis Connects? That's the part I don't understand. Now I know I've got 170 clubs in Capital District. How many clubs are in Calneva, roughly?
I think we're at 400 and some clubs.
All right,
at
let's
this
say
point.
400. I got 200. We got
Yeah.
600 clubs. Why do we only have a half a dozen clubs and entities that have taken advantage of the customized commercial? Are we not putting enough value in it? Are we charging too little that people think it's a cheap product? I don't know. Maybe we need to raise the prices. Maybe higher price builds value, but people will pay for it if they see the value. So guess what,
You know,
folks?
and I think when they realize that when you have this commercial, you literally can put it on your PBS channels. You can put it on your community connect that actually happens for all the major networks because they have public service announcement time. And we, as a 501c4, you don't have to have your nonprofit. As a 501c4, qualify for that free airtime. Use it. Use it.
Maritza says club count is 394. Thank you, Maritza.
Thank you, Maritza.
And you're right, because that is actually something that I talked about and reminded $8,000. Okay, John. Did you see John's message in the chat for us as he's sending us messages? Yeah, that would be nice. John, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want your commercial at the prices we talk about, you better get in because John is suggesting for a 60-second commercial, $8,000. So you guys better hurry up and get in and get me that email, KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. So would you like to get in the car to tell us where you are on the road, or are we going to go to a wow moment? Where do you want to go next?
I want to go to my wow moment.
There you have it. John, let's wow them.
You know, on TV the other day, I saw a lady with her Wonder Woman bracelets. And when I see that wow moment, I just want to break out my Wonder Woman bracelets, go, ta-da!
There you go.
But my wow moment is that I'm not sure how many people realize where Red Bluff, California is. But Red Bluff has really wowed me over the last couple of weeks. Every time I open up my Facebook, I see that they're adding brand new members. And Red Bluff is one of those small communities that is really focused in on their kiddos and the people that they serve. There's a hidden population that really needs Kiwanis. And thank you to Red Bluff and Leanne Westfall and those folks for keep posting. Every time you have a brand new member, celebrate them. Every time you have an anniversary, celebrate them. And we're not talking people that are newly retired. We're talking teachers. We're talking very new young families that are moving in and they're being invited. And if you're the first person that invites someone to do something in your community, they're going to be committed to you because you have taken that extra step. So that was a wow for me. And so as I get into my Barbie car, John.
Rev it up, John. Let's go. Get it.
I love that car. I'm going to trade in my car that keeps trying to fall apart for that one. It's like, woo woo. So on the road we go, and Andy and I agreed that we're going to get on the road really early in the morning. We're headed down to the amazing Pasadena area. And so please, please, please join us for the barbecue. If you want to Venmo me so that I can hold a ticket aside for you in case we sell out, I can do that for you. But I really want for people to understand there's a lot going on and you have lots of choices. So hopefully you're making Kiwanis event your choices. And the next on the road will be the golf ball drop that's turned into a major community event in the town of Burbank. And so if you're in Southern California, Kiwanis clubs are revving up. they're getting ready to open their programs with their K kids, their Builders Club, and welcoming back their Key Club members and their Circle Ks. Be a part of what's going on. Be a part of the energy, because wow, it's worth being on the road for that.
You know, the old saying is, you got to be in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to feel it, you got to do it. As Nike says, get her. Well, just do it.
Let's do it.
Guy, get her done. So listen, we all work hard and we think things should come to us, but sometimes we have to keep working to get those things to come to us, and we don't realize what we need until we do it. So just get out there. You never know. We always talk about the simple things in life can always make someone's life different. A smile, a smirk, a bag of food, whatever it is, you just don't know how one will affect their lives. Again, I want to remind everybody, please use the Kiwanis Connects page. Post those pictures. If you have new members, pinning ceremonies, get them on there. You know why? We'll shout them out. We'll make them famous or infamous, depending upon who they are. We don't care. We're an equal opportunity offender around here, so don't you worry about it. We'll take care of it. You got events coming up, governor's visits, lieutenant governor stuff. Get them on the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page so the world can see them. And Val and I can talk about them and give you a shout out. How cool would that be? And then you end up on Roku when the show gets uploaded to Roku, and you can tell your family that you too are a streaming service star, just like Val's grandmother found out about her granddaughter. So there you have it. All right. Are we at that point for some beer jokes? Anything else we want to cover there, Doc Val?
I just want you to know that you and I have touched an amazing number of people's lives. I keep getting friend requests from people. They're not just asking me out on a date, but they're actually saying, I saw your program and I learned more about Kiwanis. I learned more about Little Iguana or Muzi or what kids go through when they're in pageants and how amazing they are, just by watching your show. That's cool.
We are making a difference, and I'm so happy about that. And Rome wasn't built in a day, so we are making headway, and that's the part when I see all these different names and people from all. I mean, yes, we have our staple of supporters, and everybody has that. Every show around the world has their supporters, and we're so thankful for all the familiar names we see. And there's going to be a ton of people out there who watch the show whose names don't appear on there, but they're still watching. Mm-hmm. For everybody that does follow and support and reshare the posts and everything else, we are very grateful and thank you.
We're very thankful.
Absolutely, very thankful for that. All right, with that, Andy, I know it's that time. I got to get Andy laughing, and Val, I got to send you off on a good note this week, especially this week. So I will do my best. Mm-hmm. So I have 7 cards in front of me, and they're going to be numbered 1 through 7. This side will be 1. This is 7. You pick a number to determine our order. Go.
6.
6. 6 out of 7 of Snow White's dwarfs are not happy. Next. Next.
3.
3. What happened to the frog's car when it broke down?
It croaked?
It was towed. Oh, that's not bad either. It was towed away. John obviously has way too much time in his hands because that's a new one that he just did there. All right, hit it.
1.
Why did the girl bring a ladder to school? She wanted to go to high school. I didn't write these, folks, but I did get a thumbs up from Andy. That's good. All right, 4 left.
7.
Yesterday, a clown held the door open for me. I thought it was a nice gesture. Next.
You're kidding, right?
Really?
Listen, I don't write them. I just read them. 3 left. Go.
2.
My friend was always annoying me with bird puns, but I decided 2 can play this game. Next. I know. That's
5.
Listen.
Don't ask me.
Could have been a pecker joke in there too, but I'll let it go. Which one did you pick? 5? All right. How do you make an egg giggle? You simply tell it a yolk.
Oh, wow.
Oh, crickets on that one. Holy crap. All right. In my hand, the last one here. Thank goodness. Here you go. This is more of a point of interest. Did you know, Val, that I used to be a banker? But I lost interest. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps.
The hell's the matter with you?
You know what half the fun is pre-reading them to determine which ones I actually want to share. So I get it. Thank you, Susan, for joining us as always. All right, Val, at least I got you chuckling a little bit after your week. So hopefully that is good. Everybody, thank you for watching. Val, final thoughts as we say goodbye and I get ready to hit the road for Portsmouth for Capital District Decon.
If you all get to go to one of your conventions or a meeting somewhere, please take along Kiwanis Connects with you, share the word about our show. And when you're on the Facebook page or the YouTube page and you're making comments, if there's someone that you want to see or a group that you want to have see as a guest here on our show with us, can you let me know? We're having people reach out to us now, which is fantastic. But sometimes it's hard to come up with a topic that we know that people are going to want to watch. And I know that the bad dad jokes will get better.
Now, wait a minute. I can't guarantee that last. I cannot guarantee that last. I will not guarantee that last. But I will make this offer. You talk about having people share Kiwanis Connects. I have business cards that I've ordered, and Val, I still need your information. But if people would like to order generic Kiwanis Connects cards that simply show the show time and everything, email me, kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. And there's a minimal amount for me to order them, and I can ship them direct to you so you can have some to go. I'll be more than happy to do that and get everybody some cards so you can share with your friends the show information and how to find us. So just email me, kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. All right. Quickly again, who's our guest next week?
It's Grouper, and Grouper is tied in with Medicare. So if you are 65 and older, or you have a special medical account that you use, you're going to definitely want to know about this. If you're the membership chair in your club, you're going to want to know about this because you can collect up to $130 a year just by being a Kiwanian.
Right on. Well, I guess since I'm not 65, I guess I'll miss next week's show because I'm not there. But anyway,
I'm not there yet either, but hey,
there you go.
We're going to get there.
What else I want to say? That's it. We're out of here. Have a great week. Before I forget, be kind or moozy to everybody. Why? We're all we have. This meeting and show is adjourned.